Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sebastian, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see it. And folks, I thought that this topic was kind of simmering down, but it looks like it's ramping up. And there's so many aspects to this. So yesterday, LeBron went on the Pat McAfee show. He just went on his tirade and he just rampaged through the entire segment that he was there, and he just went at everybody. Stephen A. Smith, Brian Windhorst, whatever. So Stephen A. Smith responded to it. Then there was a clip that was going viral of Stephen A. Smith saying, "Had that man put his hands on me, I would have swung on him immediately." And everybody was reacting to that. Then LeBron goes on his Instagram, I believe, and posts a picture, not a picture, like a image or whatever of Stephen A. Smith when he was boxing, and then he was laughing at the bottom and put womp womp womp, and everybody's reacting to that. I think 1.5 million people have liked the post. So many celebrities have commented on the post. So it's that's just crazy, right? A lot of people are going off there. So I wake up this morning and I see a clip from, I forgot the channel's name. I see a clip anyway that was reacting to some comments that Shannon Sharpe made yesterday on Nightcap about this situation. Now, what do we know? We know that Shannon is a huge LeBron James supporter. We know this. And he has been so for years. We know that Shannon has even had situations where he almost scrapped with an NBA team over LeBron James with the Memphis Grizzlies. We know that too. So we know that Shannon Sharpe doesn't play when it comes to LeBron James. We know that. We also know that when Shannon Sharpe was let go of at ESPN, at FS1, Stephen A. Smith was the guy that reached out to him and was like, "Yo, come work with me," like da. And Shannon was like, nobody was checking for him, but Stephen A. Smith did, and he was like, that was a solid move. And Shannon Sharpe's career went to a whole nother level from being on ESPN First Take, but also because of what he did on his own with the Cat Williams interview and all of that, right? So one would have thought that Shannon would have shown some loyalty to Stephen A. Smith, given the fact that one of his day jobs is on ESPN First Take. But it looks like that's not what happened there. Shannon, instead of just kind of staying away from this topic, he decided to jump in, and he was basically siding with LeBron James, right? And basically saying that Stephen A. Smith should stand down. And I'm listening to this. I'm like, yo, I have never seen nothing like this before in my life. But before we even get into what Shannon had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm very interested in the game between the Wizards and the New York Knicks. Here's what I like to do. I turn on all-in pricing so I know exactly what I'm paying for upfront. I check Game Time Picks to find out the most valuable deals. And finally, I pick the ticket I want. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Shannon Sharpe had to say on the show, Nightcap, yesterday, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Shannon here.
I wish Stephen A. would just left it alone. Once he addressed it, once it happened.
The first time.
Address it. This is what happened. He came over to me, said what he said. I want to address it now, and I'm going to be done with it.
Right.
Because as my grandma used to say, boy, stirring up old ish, it still smells.
Mm.
So every time Stephen A. talks about it, it stirs it up again.
Yeah.
And look, I see both sides. I see both sides of the equation.
Yeah.
But Stephen A. just need to let it go. He needs to let it go. And now you're like, well, if he'd hit him, I don't think LeBron was coming to hit you. LeBron was coming to tell you, bro, just stop talking about my son. Right. He said, because you said, oh, as a father, now you're making it personal. You're making it personal because now you're making it seem, and this is how LeBron, I think, took it. You making it seem that I'm not a good father, that I'm not putting my son in a position to be successful. And so you're pushing this. And so LeBron took it a certain way. And am I surprised LeBron responded the way he did so publicly? Because LeBron is a very private person.
Yes, sir.
He might have an issue with someone and you will never know it.
You'll never know it, yeah.
You will never know it. So, and so for him to do that at a game, and it wasn't after the game, it wasn't before the game, it was the third quarter during a timeout.
Right.
Lets you know how upset he was at Stephen A. and what Stephen A. had been saying. But at this point in time, I understand LeBron, they asked LeBron about this, but if I'm Stephen A., hey, guys, I've already addressed that. He said what he said. I understood his point. I said what I said. Now it's time to move on.
Right.
Look, it's not going to stop me from talking about LeBron James, the basketball player on the court. But the incident, I feel that we've talked about it ad nauseum. I feel we've talked about it enough, and now it's time to move on. That's what I wish Stephen A. would do.
Yeah.
But like he said, I mean, look, I get it. That's LeBron James. It's the biggest name in pro North American sport. Right. And when you mention his name, good, bad, or indifferent, people will want to click and hear what you have to say about him. But the one thing I know about this guy, and I know him a little bit, I don't know him as well as a lot of people do.
Right.
That man loves his family. He's gonna protect his family now.
Always. And I think when you think about it, and you go back to the way things happen with LeBron actually addressing Stephen A. courtside, is what Stephen A. said obviously was said publicly on a public forum on TV. So he addressed it the exact same way, publicly, courtside in the middle of a game.
Yes.
Now, as a father, and like Stephen A. said, he understood where LeBron was coming from. Knowing Stephen A., I think in the individual that he is, LeBron said what he had to say today. I'm sure Stephen A. is going to respond to that, because
he did.
If you think about it, anytime anyone says anything to or about Stephen A., he's going to have an answer to whatever is being said. That's just him, and it's always been him. I know you would like him to leave it alone, but I don't think that's not how this gonna go.
The only thing I would have said was, Stephen A., look, I know people are gonna like, man, LeBron should have stole on you. LeBron should have did this. Man, they just talking.
Yeah,
Stephen A., man, you the same, man. I'm about to be 57. You about to be 58. Bro, that ain't even your MO.
Right.
You ain't gonna fight nobody. LeBron wasn't gonna swing on you, and you wasn't gonna, LeBron wasn't gonna swing on you, so there would have been no need for you to swing on him. I'm glad you guys stood there and y'all talked. Look, he said what he said. You seemed to be receptive at the time of it. You said you understood, because he was speaking to you as a father and not LeBron James, the basketball player. And you said you understood that. Let it go now.
So you heard what Shannon had to say. I gotta say this. As I was watching this, that's the clip that we just played for you guys, I was just saying to myself, I've never seen something like this before. I've never seen something like this before, where people are literally tripping over themselves to twerk, like just twerk it up for LeBron. And it's just, I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen it. I've just, the amount of celebrities that are just out there twerking it up. I've never seen something like this before. It's incredible to me. It really, really is incredible to me. It's surprising. Regarding what Shannon said, I think the best course of action here would have been for Shannon to just simply stay out of it. I think that would have been the optimal thing to do. Now, granted, Shannon Sharpe has had some spats here and there, and Stephen A. Smith has chimed in on it as well. But this one is a little bit different, given the person we're talking about, because as Chad Johnson said, Stephen A. Smith is not one of these people that is going to let it, down if somebody talks about him. He's going to respond. And if Stephen A. Smith hears these comments, I'm sure Stephen A. Smith is going to have one or two things to say about the situation. Stephen A. Smith vehemently believes that he didn't attack Bronny. I still don't see how he attacked him, right? Because remember, LeBron said, keep my son out of this. So I don't see where Stephen A. Smith attacked him. In fact, Stephen A. Smith admitted to not doing his job by purposefully not covering Bronny James. Now, the comments that he made about LeBron was directed to LeBron. The comments he made that day after the game they played against the Philadelphia 76ers. But people are now trying to twist it and say he's talking about Bronny when in reality he's not. He never did. And what I'm noticing from Stephen A. Smith is that he's quickly losing his patience with LeBron and his camp and being cordial and all of that. If you listen to what he said yesterday in his response on his channel, he ain't holding back no more. He ain't holding back no more. I wish he would go a little bit further. I wish he would go a little bit further and use his bully pulpit. And Stephen A. Smith knows something. And a lot of these guys know it too. They can play, but they know. Stephen A. Smith has something on his side that is stopping LeBron from actually being able to affect him. He's successful at what he does. Stephen A. Smith may not have the money that LeBron has, but in terms of the position in media and the position that LeBron has in the NBA is pretty much equal. Pretty much equal. Pretty much equal. He's had the #1 show for how many years now? Over a decade? Hard to argue with that. Now, some people believe, oh, look, Stephen A. Smith is doing for clout and all of this stuff. Let me ask y'all a question. Stephen A. Smith's show has been #1 for how many years? Was it because of LeBron for all of those years? Let's be for real here. Y'all love to give LeBron his props. Give that man his props too. Regardless of what you think about him, son knows how to get ratings. He knows how to get, like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, let's not front. Let's not front. It is like, we know what it is, right? So Stephen A. Smith knows that. He knows that. And he's like, nah, I'm not backing down nothing. What is surprising is the amount of people that want him to back down. It's crazy, man. People are tripping over themselves to twerk it up. It's like, just let it go, man. Let it go. Let it go. And the part that kills me with Shannon is talking about let it go. He don't never let nothing go. Shannon Sharpe has had his string of beefs with people. He don't let nothing go. I read through the comments. People like, yo, Shannon, it would have been better if you took your own advice on this one. You're talking about let it go. You never let it go. This is interesting. And now I'm waiting to see if Stephen A. Smith responds to Shannon. It'll be very interesting. But let them keep playing. This thing will get ugly. It'll get ugly. Catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.